Hello traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Roku. Ouch! Okay, so they delivered a report last night. First of all, what is today? The 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. And Friday. Markets are still, it's a complete full-blown correction, almost flat. Flat is the new correction these days. We still know nothing about the virus, and I anticipated some selling into the close as a general point of view because nobody wants to go into a long weekend with potential headlines not knowing what the heck is going to come out of the China news. Nobody knows anything. So anyway, that in itself is uncertainty. So Roku delivered earnings last night with NVIDIA. NVIDIA shot through the moon, and finally, after waiting from, I think, July or October of 2018 when it set its all-time high and failed. Finally, they took out the 292.60, whatever it was then. I haven't checked on it. Here's Roku, spiked. The report, they beat, raised, I think, bazillion subscribers, and I think it still loses money 17 years into operations. My point of view on that. I just did 2 videos not too long ago. And they were both spot on. And I think in the last one I did, I suggested that, if it goes to high 40s, it would be an exit point, and I'll show you why on the longer time frame. Sorry, the markets are open. The chat room was open. So, by the way, before I forget, at the end, there is a subscribe to this channel blurb. And also in the description, how you can get on into the chat room. So there's a link there. So if we zoom out, we'll find the levels. But I want to show you the disappointment. And on Twitter and StockTwits, I went out in the morning and I said, if I'm long, this is basically what I get out. If I'm not long, I don't get long here for a specific reason. And that was almost what? Holy cow. I mean, it was up 4 or 5%, and now it's down. So it's a 15-point swing. So it's down 8%, 7.5. That's a big swing. Imagine somebody buying it at 150 and now they're immediately down 20 bucks. So pretty sad situation. Now what? Is this the time to panic? This is not the time to panic based on this chart. The only reason why I don't try to catch the falling knife here is because of my fear for the whole market. It's at all-time highs. And there's uncertainty everywhere. I don't want to short it, but I don't want to load up long, especially in a momentum stock like Roku. This is first green tick since this one developing. So this is a momentum stock, so it runs fast in both directions. It has been kind of quiet of late. The RSI is down to a place somebody starts saying, I'm going to catch the falling knife. So let me zoom out. This is a 30-minute chart. It's pretty tight for a lot of people who trade slower than this. Okay, we go to 120. That's a 2-hour chart. So now the lines start to come in. I'm going to reset it, make sure we're in the middle. Okay, so you can see why I said it's not a starting point, because it coincides with a prior failure zone. So last time it was at 152. It failed miserably. It went down to 132. And it was trying to fill a gap, and it fell short of filling the gap. So the bulls were in control. They had the momentum. They had several green ticks in a row, and then they failed. I don't know if the market-wide failed at the time. I don't care. To me, it's price action. The charts usually don't lie. And machines know. Markets have memory. Believe it. Now more so than ever, because it's mostly machines trading, and they're garbage in, garbage out. AI, BS. There's no AI. There's smarter coding. AI is still not there. Okay, if you've heard this one before, you're going to go, oh my God, you're going to say it again. So AI is, if you program a computer to trade this ticker and tell it, learn for yourself to trade better, it should be smart enough to say, I need to go learn Chinese in order to read the headlines in China so I can be a faster trader than Joe Blow. They don't do that. They learn the range, they learn the price patterns, and all within the same parameters that you coded in. They don't create their own code. Anyway, back to here. So, big dip. Not a time to panic if I didn't panic up here. If I'm still in it from up here, that's not where I get out. I have 2 orange dashed lines. Those are my lines for, do I want to catch the falling knife? I expect some support here. There's an open gap to here. So these are places where I start looking. Why? For the same reason I would not start going long here, because it has been bounce level before. So until it's broken, it's support. And this is a 2-hour chart. I'm going to expand it to 4 hours. So now we see a little bit more data, a few more months. And the prior videos will explain these white lines. I'm not going to go over them again, but you can. They're on the channel. So now you see why this line is really important, where we're at, where it failed in the morning. This is a gap that it couldn't fill, even though it was right there with nice momentum off of the point of control. It just went through the point of control. So that's another reason why I don't panic out, because this point right here, 132, is where there has been, in this period of time, the most trading. This is where they were most active, and then a little bit less here and a little bit less there. So this zone here, 37 to 32, should be supportive. So they're falling fast, but it should catch them like a rubber band. And if you look at it, it's like a divider, right? Here failed, failed, breakout, failed, and then breakout. So they should have held it. So they may find footing. It all depends on what happens in the whole market. So this is another reason why I don't panic out of it. That's the message of this video. I have to know my levels. If my thesis is to own it for the long term, super long term, that's not mine. I'm not a fan of the stock. I have a couple of dongles. I would never pay them any money. I have YouTube TV, and on older TVs I may use a Roku. In fact, it didn't work very well with it. So I'm using Chromecast, just a little dongle, $20 job. That's it. So, but people think that they have licensing and ad revenues and all of that. They don't have a competitive advantage in my opinion. But if you love it and you know more than me, I don't know enough about it to love it. But if you do and you have a long-term thesis, this is not a reason to get out of it. It's trading within its price range. The high, the low, somewhere in the middle lies the truth, right? Is that easy enough? The high up here may be crazy. The low may be crazy. Somewhere in the middle, which is almost exactly where it is, lies the truth. That's pretty good. So is this a fib? Nope, that's not a fib level. Okay, so what if I expand to a daily? So now a little more time. If I reset it, this is a whole year's worth of data. There was a clear zone that they said, you know what, this earnings report back there in May, we were totally wrong. Off to the races. They consolidated, used it as base, and have not seen it yet. Right? So now they're off, and the higher lows trend tapering off. So now they're going sideways. So the good news is that they're holding the bounces. But the bad news, see my note, 100 test with a question mark with 110 ledge. Okay, so if you have a level you're bouncing off and then you lose it, you might trigger a bearish pattern, and you may test the 100 mark. So that would be a place where I would definitely try to catch this falling knife, even though it shows like a hideous, weird test of 60 if that fails. So I'm not calling for this, but if they fail to bounce on this one, I think there's support here. If not, there's support at today's low candle and this line, 123-ish, and there's support here. And if this is lost, they may want to test the 100, but they have a ledge of 110-ish. So 115, actually 110. This candle is important on whatever that day is, November 7th. Whatever happened there, that's important. The bottom of it is important, and also some sort of a ledge around 110. What happened here and here, 110. So again, grab the whole picture. So I wouldn't make decisions based on a tick. Somebody sees this, oh my God, panic, sell. Usually it's the wrong thing to do. Find the levels and see if it sliced through the level. If this candle was lower and it sliced through both of these, then I'll tell you, oh, it should be going to 100. I would not catch this falling knife. This is a big drop on a big volume day. Decent, right? It's not oversized, and it's not like this cluster here, whatever happened here. I don't remember. So level-wise, it's not a time to panic. Is it a time to catch a falling knife? Maybe, but I'm not a fan of doing that yet, because that's Roku on a minute. because this is a momentum stock. And if it loses a neckline, so don't throw up, okay? Wonky, I know, but when you knock on the floor this hard, this long, and you end up losing it, this should be bulletproof. So if they go here, they should bounce. So if they lose this and they come back here, they should bounce. And then whatever they do here. But if they come back and lose it, the drop will be big. You know, they would question this candle. I'm not calling for it, okay? So they would question it though. And this stock runs fast and long in both directions. Right, kind of like all the momos. Netflix is like this. So they run fast and long. Right, Netflix, we grabbed a couple of breakouts. And it too, I wouldn't start longs here. I would have here, and I did actually, and I triggered alerts here, 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 and here. And now I have one here set. So if I'm not long, I wouldn't start long until it breaks above here. Why? Because of prior failures. Look what happened last July. Look what happened last May. I'm going to go to a weekly. I bet you will find more of these. I'm going to take these out. All of this. So this is where it's at. Fail, fail, fail miserably. Barely beat it. So onus is on the bulls to take it out. But if they do, the opposite reason of the Roku where it takes it to 70, if you take out that neckline that has been a failure for years, chances you go to 450, 460. So this is segue into Netflix. Back to Roku. Sorry if you're long. But if you're long overnight, you had the chance to book a big profit in the morning. And this candle is not looking good on a weekly basis. But the support zone, these are the two orange lines. You can see how they visually look like a place that it could find support. This 110, 125 should be a strong zone for somebody who's long Roku for the long term. Nick signing out. Don't forget, links below.